It's my time to shine. If you doubt it, I'll do it. Love's on my side, so I'll prove it. It's my time to shine. If you doubt it, I'll do it. Love's on my side, so I'll prove it. Yeah.
It's midday.
Hello, beautiful people. It's your girl, Mide, the one and only. And you guys are back watching another episode of the Mide Show. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Hope you guys are amazing and have had an amazing week, putting positive energy into the atmosphere, because you know what you put out is what you get back. So yes, let's get right into it. Welcome to this part of the show called The Gist, where we will be going through everything that is happening in our community, whether it's locally, nationally, or globally. Let's get into it. So we have a new cast of Bckchat, and if you guys don't know, Bckchat is on Trend Central, and they have dilemmas or discussions where they would have back and forth debate. So on this week's episode of Bckchat, they were talking about why darker skinned women tend not to get a lot of attention. That's fine. This is a conversation that has been going on for years. Certain things were said that I personally was not pleased about. Some of the guys on the show stated that when black men become successful, they often date white women. Now, this isn't the case for every single black man that becomes successful. If you don't know, the majority of black men date and marry black women, but there are a select few that when they become successful, they date white women, whatever. But what the issue for me was in that conversation was sometimes black men, when they become successful, they cannot date black women because they feel as though black women are unable to navigate those situations or those particular rooms that they have now entered. You know, black men, sometimes I just feel like people just speak for the sake of speaking, but don't actually register what they are saying. I think that is such an insult to all of the black women in the UK right now, especially, that are doing amazing things. The influencers, the women that are in entertainment, the people that are killing it and navigating those said spaces. So for me, it's a bit confusing and a little bit, what's the word that I would use? Unintelligent, for a lack of a better word, and to have that mindset. Well, I would use myself as an example. I'm a very intelligent black woman who is able to navigate multiple different spaces. Right now, I'm a talk show host, as you guys know, but my full-time job is I work in the tech industry. I have to keep myself up to date with the latest technology and have conversations with said partners. Why would you say that black women cannot navigate those spaces, or they don't have the ability? Well, you think black women stopped becoming smart at primary school? Like, sometimes I feel as though, although I believe that Bckchat is such a great platform and I love the debates that they have, the conversations are very interesting, I do think that sometimes certain individuals that are having said conversations do not have the intelligence to be able to navigate those conversations. They don't know what they're saying. They're speaking for the fun of it. And sometimes it's just giving like my brain cells are dying. I'm sorry, but it is. I feel like these type of shows would be so much better if there were people that actually had the intellectual capacity to handle those conversations, because what I was hearing was a load of arse. Yeah, that's that. Moving on. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. Diddy was arrested this week, Tuesday, the 17th of September. He was arrested and is now incarcerated in prison. He has been denied bail. He will be in custody until his trial date. Fantastic news. Fantastic news. The charges include racketeering, coercion, sex trafficking, and abuse, amongst many more. I've said it before, he did that shit. I don't care what anybody has to say. I know I wasn't there, but he did it. He did it. He is maintaining his innocence, which is insane to me because we all saw in 4K when Cassie sued him for 30 million and he said that this is just another girl trying to get a payday, and a couple months later, wasn't even a couple months later or like a couple weeks later, we saw the horrific leaked footage from the hotel. You knew that you had done it, but you still came out with your long lip to say that this is just someone trying to get a payday. And this is the same man that's saying that I maintain my innocence. You can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. So let's get into the details a little bit. When he was arrested, apparently 1,000 bottles of baby oil was seized from his house to accommodate his parties called freak-offs, which was also described in Cassie's civil lawsuit, where she would explain in graphic detail what would happen in these freak-off parties. You know, there would be a lot of coercion, a lot of sexual assault, a lot of rape, a lot of all of these things, all of this perverted stuff would be happening. Now, I have a name for all of these things. I call it devil sex, right? When you sell your soul to the devil, you start entering into the realm of devil sex. I feel that Diddy is definitely up there. I believe that he has sold his soul to the devil by bending over for the devil himself. Yeah, that's just my theory. And he is one of his perverted demons on the earth. The amount of pain and turmoil that he has inflicted on so many different people, because remember, this is not just an allegation from one person. This is an allegation from multiple people. And there is no smoke without fire. These rumors have been going on for years and years and years and years. And it's a shame that Wendy Williams is not here to sip that tea, because she's been telling us for years. But I'm here to tell you guys, Diddy is a monster and he deserves to be greatly punished for what he has done. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't have to say innocent until proven guilty. He's guilty. He is guilty and he deserves everything that comes his way. And I want to send my condolences to all of his victims and have suffered at the hands of this nasty man. This is also a lesson for people that think that they can take advantage of women and think that, you know, you're going to keep doing it and getting away with it. All of them are facing the wrath of the law now. Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein, Diddy, R. Kelly, literally all of the rest are going to follow suit. Slowly but surely, the reign is coming to an end. Moving on. Welcome to this part of the show called Fit Check, where we will be going through all the details of my outfit, head to toe, darling. This beautiful, beautiful dress. Oh my God, please, can we just take it in? Like, stunning, stunning. This dress is from House of CB. You guys already know House of CB do not play. I wore it for the shoot and I thought, let me wear it again because I absolutely love this dress. It's giving what it needs to give. I would definitely recommend as a wedding guest, or if you have maybe like a very prestigious event that you're going to, a gala maybe, or even Christmas do that's coming up. You know, if you work in the corporate world and you want to wear something nice for your Christmas party. I'm a size 10, 12, and I got this in a medium, so just for size reference. The dress is £219. Obviously, it is quite on the pricey side, but I do believe that this dress is an investment because, you know, you could just wear it over and over and over again. One motto that I live by is that if I bought it, I'm going to wear it multiple times, and I'm going to take pictures with the different hairstyles and shoes that I pair it with, period. So let's just get into it. Oh, Jesus, I'm so stunning. It's just like, I cannot. But yes, let's give, can we have a moment for the dress? She a baddie. She a baddie. But she classy. Ooh. Ooh, but she classy. Okay now, don't hurt nobody. In terms of jewelry, I don't have much on today, just these H&M earrings. They were recent, so if you're liking them. I love these earrings because they remind me of the Yoruba symbol of money. And if you guys didn't know, my full name is Olamide, and Ola means wealth. Everything about me is money. That's why I don't like when guys come to me without money. If you don't have money, don't look at me. Yeah? Anyways, these earrings are from H&M. My heels are from Zara. They're quite old. I've had them for a while, but they're like one of my most comfiest heels. I absolutely adore them. And that's it. Kept it quite simple today because the dress was just enough, to be honest. But that's it, guys. Okay, bye. Popular podcasters, Shits and Gigs, have been under fire this week. My goodness, it has just been an ongoing roller coaster for them. They're getting dragged, and can I say rightfully so? A part of me believes so, yeah. So James and Fuad, who are the duo that make up Shits and Gigs, went on an American tour for 6 weeks, and they went on to a podcast with a man called Andrew, I believe his name was. And this Andrew Shewitz is a known racist, which is quite concerning because why would you go on a podcast where the host of the podcast is a known racist? He makes very inappropriate jokes. He has said quite a few things about the Black experience, something that he can never ever relate to. But anyway, they went onto the podcast. When they went onto the podcast, this Andrew man was making inappropriate jokes about Black women, saying how Black women are violent, Black women are aggressive. White men that date Black women end up shaving their heads because of the aggression displayed by Black women. Fuad and James were on the podcast, obviously listening to that joke, and were just giggling. They didn't say anything. They didn't have a rebuttal. They didn't stop him. They didn't say, oh, wait a minute, sir, that's not my experience of Black women. They just sat there giggling. Now, when I first saw the clip, I was just like, do you know what? Maybe it's nerves. Maybe it was an awkward situation. They didn't know what to say. They didn't know how to handle it, which is fair. But I think when you look at the history of James and Fuad, they say quite inappropriate things about Black women all the time. I'm not a fan of Shits and Gigs because their content is just reading tweets. Like, I'm not hating or anything, but it's just not my cup of tea, right? For me, it was just kind of like, if you're sat in front of a white man and he's making inappropriate jokes about Black women, whom you guys are surrounded by. Fuad came from a Black woman. I don't know if James's mum or dad is Black, I'm not sure. But either way, you have Black people and Black women in your family. For you not to speak up is poor. It was a poor decision, 100%. Obviously, I'm not going to hold a gun to your head and just be like, you're this, whatever. It was a poor decision, 100%. Initially, when there was a backlash and a lot of people were upset about it, I was a bit on the fence, I will admit, because like I said, nerves sometimes do get the better of you. And sometimes when you're in awkward situations, you kind of just laugh to try and do you know what I mean? You're just like, right? Then they released an apology. In my personal, humble, and usually accurate opinion, they should have just kept quiet. That apology was subpar at best. Not once did they look into the camera. There was in my opinion, there was no sincerity. Fuad didn't really say anything. It was just giving backup dancer. He literally didn't have his own voice. It was kind of James just saying everything. Listen, the apology was just not a bit of me, right? And I feel like when you are in these spaces and you give apologies, it's very techie because people are already offended. They're not really going to take your apology either way. But if you're going to apologize, then it needs to be sincere. It can't be a PR stunt. It can't be because, I need to save myself. You have to genuinely mean it because it does translate on camera. They then went on to delete the apology and delete several episodes of their podcast, which then begs the question, did you even mean it in the first place? Why did you delete it? I don't even think they understand why they are receiving the backlash. I think they're just like, oh, these blackies, these black women are at it again. They're just complaining again. But there's no, like, for me, I just feel like there's no understanding as to why black women are upset. For years and years and years, for centuries, has it been centuries? For decades, for centuries, I don't know. Black women are always the butt of every joke. We are the most disrespected. We are the most disregarded. We are the most overlooked people that there is. We are always being told how aggressive we are, how angry we are, how annoying we are. All the words under the sun that they want to use towards us. We are tired. Can we breathe? Can we breathe? Like, seriously, can we breathe? Like, it's actually just so annoying. Every single time, there's always something about black women. And we show up in these spaces and we try to keep our heads held high and we try to just kind of brush it off. But it's so discouraging and they're so disheartening when you enter into spaces and other races and other like people are speaking down on black women, and you know that the black men that you love dearly are not going to protect you. They're probably the ones that are going to add fuel to the fire and say, yeah, that's why we go for the white women, because they're not headache. You came from a black woman and you're saying you would rather go for a white woman. And I'm not saying all black men say this, by the way, but I'm saying that there are obviously quite a few men, hence why we are having this conversation, that say things like that. Back to the gist of the story. Shits and gigs, I mean, I don't think that this is necessarily going to affect their career. And, you know, they've built up a good reputation. But the sad reality is that the majority of their following, or a lot of people that supported them, were black women. And for you to kind of have that stance, definitely we're going to see you in a new light. We're going to see you in a much different way. And I don't wish bad on them. I just hope that they use this opportunity to educate themselves and just do better and stand up for black women. Like, we always stand up for black men when we have the opportunity, and it's just a shame that we never get that in return. But that's that. So this podcaster, Ryan Clark, he has a podcast called The Pivot Podcast, and he was basically speaking on the situation about shits and gigs, and mainly speaking about Andrew and his racist slave master comments, and was basically saying how people need to educate him because he has no standing to talk about the black experience nor to talk about black women. And when I was talking about the shits and gigs situation, I forgot to mention that I find it quite interesting that a lot of people aren't really putting their anger towards the white man. It was mainly towards James and Fuad, which is understandable, but also like that anger needs to be shared. Do you know what I mean? So when this guy came out and he was basically speaking about the whole shits and gigs situation and mainly directing the conversation to Andrew. Oh my God. Have you ever fallen in love with someone because of the way that they speak? Like the way he articulated himself and he stood up for black women and he spoke so highly of black women. This is how we need black men to speak about black women. A lot of you guys say black women are not submissive, that black women are argumentative, black women are this, black women are that. Have you ever thought that black men, only speak about the ones in the UK, black men in the UK are not creating safe enough spaces for black women to be submissive, to be in their feminine, to be, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you guys create such a hostile environment for a lot of women and then get upset when women reciprocate that energy and become hostile. Where is the logic, people? Black women wants to be feminine. We want to be in our feminine. Who wouldn't want to be treated like egg? Hello, hi. Who wouldn't want to be treated like a princess? But in order for you to be in your feminine, there needs to be an environment where you're allowed to bask in that femininity, which in my opinion, a lot of black men do not create that environment to do so. So when this man was talking about the whole situation and he just spoke so eloquently of black women, it was so beautiful. And I promise you, if a lot more black women were to speak and to also treat black women like this, we wouldn't have a problem. I can't speak for every single black woman, but I can definitely speak for the ones that I know. And I know that we wouldn't have a problem because we're being treated with the respect, love, and consideration that we just desire. I mean, men say that they're logical beings, but they really don't act very logical in a lot of instances. Obviously, it's not every single man. There are some good men, allegedly. I'm just speaking about the ones that I've come across and the ones that I see online and the ones that my friends tell me about and the ones that I come into contact with. So quite a few. I just feel like if you guys were to create environments for black women to be a bit more dainty and feminine, you might get a different experience. But who am I? Just a lady on the internet. What do I know? Moving on. This week's shout out of the week goes to Mariam Musa, who just announced that she is getting engaged after announcing her pregnancy. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. Mariam Musa is an OG in this content game. I feel like she's been doing this from before I can even remember, and she's been consistent. She's been putting out amazing content, and I'm super, super, super happy for you. Wishing you all the best. Yeah, my best wishes to you. To this part of the show called Ask Auntie Mide. You guys know I'm a seasoned vet when it comes to this shit. I've been going through so many things in life. I've had so many different experiences, and I believe that I can give you guys sound, solid advice, okay? So if you guys have any dilemmas that you would like for me to answer and give advice to, then slide into my DMs. You can message me on the Mide Show Official or on my personal account on Instagram or TikTok. I'll be sure to read out your dilemmas and give you guys my personal, humble, and usually accurate opinion. Okay? Let's get into it. Hey Mide, love the show. I pray you receive everything you wish for. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Guys, when you are sending in dilemmas, I want well wishes. Yeah, thank you. So my dilemma is, I recently found out that my boyfriend is a drug dealer. Okay, this went completely left. I wasn't expecting this. Okay. I won't lie, I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it because it's hard out here. Fairs. My issue is that he is the send out and I feel sick. Oh, sis. Bit of a background. I'm 19 and he is 24. I would expect him to be a bit higher up on the ranks. This is just getting worse and worse. Like, first he's a drug dealer and now he's a low-level drug dealer. Let me keep reading. When we are together, he gets calls at any time of the day with people telling him to run errands, travel to different places, and do mad weird jobs. But then he has nothing to show for it. No money at all. I'm embarrassed for him. Just me thinking about it when I'm laying down with him is really turning me off. Am I being toxic? The whole situation is toxic and there's so much to unpack here. We're going to start off by the fact that you just found out that he was a drug dealer. So what did you think he was doing before? Okay, you're not here to answer, so we'll move on. So you just found out he was a drug dealer, and then on top of him being a drug dealer, he's a low-level drug dealer. Now, in my personal, humble, and usually accurate opinion, you shouldn't be dating a drug dealer, first and foremost, just because it comes with so much headache. As someone who has had her fair share of, that life, it's just not worth it. I know you're very young and, the excitement of it, all of it is still part of it. It's not an exciting life to live. There's just so much anxiety that is kind of connected with it. It's not worth it. So that being said, that's the first kind of foundation for the advice that I'm going to give you. And then on top of that, if you are going to date a drug dealer, because I know a lot of you ladies don't listen to me, if you're going to date a drug dealer, you cannot be dating the send out. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. If it ain't Ghost, if it ain't Tommy, we don't want it. If they're not at the top of the rankings, then please miss me out. If it ain't Duchesne or Sully, there's no point. There's actually no point. You're dating the low-level one. I'm sorry. I know this is my advice right now isn't the best. You shouldn't be dating none of these drug dealers point blank, period. But if you're gonna date a drug dealer, then it can't be the low-level ones. Because like you said, it's making you sick. My advice to you, baby girl, is I don't like telling people to leave their relationships, but I don't think this is a very beneficial one, especially if you're already feeling sick. This man needs to concentrate on getting his life together. And I don't think that you should be in a situation where you're dating a low-level drug dealer. You might as well date a crackhead. Did I say something wrong? Baby girl, just get yourself out of it. Are you being toxic? Yes, 100%. Your issue was not the fact that he was a drug dealer. Your issue was the fact that he was a low-level drug dealer. Your issue was the fact that he had nothing to show for the drug dealings. Yeah, it's a little bit toxic. It is a little bit toxic. But you know, you're young, you have a lot of growing to do, and your mindset has a lot of developing to do. So, you know, we're not gonna cast any judgment here, but try and get out of it if you can. That's my advice on that, girl. Guys, like I said, if you have any dilemmas, be sure to slide into my DMs and I will give you my personal, humble, and usually accurate opinion. Bye. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching this episode. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Please don't just be passing here without showing that you've been here. Ooh. Let us know that you are here. Make sure you drop a comment below. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. Let's grow this platform. Let's do it for the people, for the culture. Yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to share as well. Send it to your mother, your uncle, your auntie, your sister, your brother, your niece, your nephew, the whole world. Yeah? Until next time. Bye.